Hello, you guys. There's not going to be a grand entrance today, but I will be saying hello, you guys, and I want to welcome you back to yet another episode of In the End, There's Always a Disney God. If you are new to the series, you guys should already know what to do. Go hit, subscribe to this podcast, check out the website, check out Anchor for this podcast and all that. And today we're going to be getting into how does Loki connect to Doctor Strange too. Everybody knows that, Loki has introduced Doctor Strange in various ways, but we're going to be getting into how and why and, all that stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me see if I can find it first. So how does Loki connect with Doctor Strange 2? The topic of discussion. Okay. So this is what BGR is saying. How Doctor Strange 2 and Kang's death in Loki are connected. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is $12 million shy of 700 million after 2 weekends at the box office. Despite a significant drop off in the second weekend, the movie seems set to surpass 1 billion in the coming weeks, cementing Doctor Strange as a character that can draw a crowd. But Multiverse of Madness isn't just continuing the character arcs of Strange and Wanda. It also sets the stage for an important event in the MCU called Incursions. Something the movie spends little time explaining. To actually understand all of that, you need to be aware of the links between Loki and Doctor Strange 2, including the death of MCU's first Kang variant. The death of He Who Remains, which is what the Kang variant introduces himself in Loki, made possible the multiverse events that we've witnessed ever since. No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness are just two consequences, but the ripples might be more significant. The MCU timeline is more complicated when it comes to Kang, which is totally true. I don't know if you guys know this game, this PlayStation game, but it's a Lego game. I believe it's called Lego 2, and it's actually about Kang. Basically, Kang creates this universe, and I hope I'm not spoiling any future, like, whatever, but in the Lego game, I remember when I played it years ago, when I was younger, but basically, Kang's mission was to bring all realities into one, like Asgard, um, like all different galaxies. He wanted them to all be in one. Basically, was his mission in Lego 2, the game for for PlayStation 4. Uh, that was a long time ago back then, but yeah, I remember that when I played those bring back so many memories. That's why it's critical to correctly understand what happened in the Loki finale to have a better grasp of the MCU community. Before we get to the links between Loki and Doctor Strange, you must understand the most important thing that happens in the Loki finale, which was Kang's death. How Kang controls everything. Kang is not living just at the end of time, but at the beginning and the middle of it. From his vantage point, he can see everything in the universe and intervene to control the timeline and ensure the worst versions of him do not appear. The simple analogy, oh my gosh, for Kang's perspective is watching TV with a few differences. You can watch any channel for as long as you want, and you can change what happens on the screen in real time without anyone involved in those TV shows knowing what's happening. You can watch as many channels as you want, in this case, timelines, and time doesn't pass at all while you do. You have time to watch all the TV you want, so while Kang is both dead and alive when the events in Doctor Strange 2 happen, he stopped watching the universe at some point. That was the only way to give Loki and Sylvie free will. They could continue his work or kill him. As a result, while Kang's death happens simultaneously with everything in the primary MCU reality, including Doctor Strange 2, he hasn't necessarily seen everything because he chooses not to do it. Why Kang's death matters for DS2, which is Doctor Strange. Now, the events in No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2 wouldn't be possible in a timeline that Kang would closely manage. He wouldn't let the multiverse get out of whack because Spider-Man felt the need to make the world forget him. Kang might also intervene with Wanda and prevent her from descending into madness. In turn, this would prevent Steven's journey into the multiverse, or the MCU reality getting a superhero that can travel the multiverse at will. That also means Clea would not show up, as there will be no incursion to worry about. And incursion sounds like an unnecessary polite term to describe a multiversal war that Kang wanted to prevent in the first place. Put differently, Kang's death leads to multiversal wars instantly, from his perspective. With all that in mind, I realize we have to stop asking what year Kang died, because I just explained Kang's death is contemporary. With everything happening in the universe, we're now witnessing suffering the consequences. It's only a few years after Endgame from our perspective. Is Earth 616 in Doctor Strange 2 the sacred timeline, or just a branch of it? The moment Kang died, the MCU's primary reality was set free. And we've only come to witness some of those unscripted events that followed instantaneously again. Kang could also see each and every one of them unfold, even the events in DS2. But he just stopped looking at it to face Loki and Sylvie. Those branches appear everywhere on the timeline. Not just in the MCU future that we're now getting to experience, we also have branches in the past and present, and they all appear all together. Earth 616 might not even be the sacred timeline that Kang created for so long. It could be a branch in time that the TVA never pruned. It could have started with Peter Parker in No Way Home, or with Wanda in WandaVision when she left with that Darkhold book, or with one of Doctor Strange's many arrogant replies or spells. We just don't know, and we might never have to get a precise moment when Kang's death interrupted the regular programming of the sacred timeline. What we know is that Earth 616 is the MCU's primary timeline. Also, we speculated that Steve Rogers has decided to retire in a different reality is possible because Kang died. That's in the late 40s from the universe's perspective, but since everything in the universe happens all at once, that moment can coincide with other pivotal moments in the MCU that set us to the path to Secret Wars, because that's what Doctor Strange 2 does. It sets the stage for the kind of big multiverse mess that the better version of Kang wanted to avoid. So yeah, I really do hope you enjoy that information on how those two connect. Make sure you follow this podcast. You guys already know what to do. And yeah, bye-bye, guys.